Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Carnivore Better Life, and my name is Jack Shepherd. I am gonna show you a video today from Dr. KenDBerryMD, medical doctor. His video is called 10 Things a Carnivore Diet Can Do for You. And this is a very good short video that really shows the potential of a carnivore diet. I'm gonna give you guys my responses to the video afterwards and my experience and opinions. And this is gonna be a really good video to highlight some of the medical things that this diet can actually solve, which is quite good, or at least improve. Excuse me, I just had a nice roast with some ghee on it, like a cuvette roast. It was really good. But yeah, the carnivore diet is very good for many of these medical things, and there will be links down in the description below. You guys can go and follow if you want to know more. The link to the video will also be down there, so you can go and check out Dr. KenDBerry's video. And please do so. Please go give him a like and share the content if you like the content with your family and your friends, and try to get the information about it out there. But let's watch the video clip, and then I will comment and share my experiences.
In this short video, I want to go over with you 10 things that I've seen the carnivore diet do for people just like you. Now, keep in mind, I work with many thousands of people online, and I'm going to tell you the top 10 things I've seen the carnivore diet do, not in one or two people or 10 or 20 people, but in hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of people have used a carnivore diet to make this thing in their life better. I'm Dr. KenDBerry, a family physician with over 20 years of clinical experience, and also I've been eating a carnivore diet for over 4 years now. And so some of these things have happened to me, but keep in mind, I'm not giving you an anecdote of one, like, oh, this happened to me, it'll happen for you. I'm talking about things that have happened for thousands of other people, just like you, all around the world. Number one is insulin resistance, which is better called hyperinsulinemia. When you eat a diet that's very low in carbohydrates, like a carnivore diet, your chronic blood sugar spikes are going to stop happening. And that's going to allow your hyperinsulinemia, your chronically overactive insulin levels in your bloodstream, to return back to normal. So hyperinsulinemia, insulin resistance, gets much, much better. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, fatty liver, even alcoholic fatty liver disease gets better on a carnivore diet. In most cases, goes completely away in just a few months. Number three, type 2 diabetes. If you'd like to not manage your type 2 diabetes, if you'd like to completely reverse it, get rid of it, cure it, the carnivore diet is the quickest way that you're going to be able to do that while continuing to eat. Type 2 diabetes is a condition of chronically elevated blood sugar levels, therefore chronically elevated insulin levels. Eating a almost zero carb diet like the carnivore diet makes both of these things go back to normal. Next is chronic reflux, heartburn, GERD. These things get 80 to 100% better in people who adopt a carnivore diet and stick to it tightly for a few weeks or a few months. The longer you stick with carnivore, the longer your symptoms stay at bay. Next is hypertension, high blood pressure. Thousands upon thousands of people have been able to actually stop one or more of their blood pressure medications after a few months on a carnivore diet. This could happen for you as well. Next is chronic vitamin and mineral deficiencies. You may know that someone on a vegan diet or a whole foods plant-based diet, they have to take a handful of supplements every day. And that's because the plants that make up the majority of their diet are almost nutrient void. They either contain very low amounts of vitamins and minerals, or they contain anti-nutrients which keep those people from absorbing those vitamins and minerals. Not only is a carnivore diet beef, butter, bacon, eggs, seafood, rich in all of the vitamins and minerals that you need, but they don't contain any anti-nutrients to keep you from absorbing those vitamins and minerals. Many people, when they switch from a whole foods plant-based diet over to a carnivore diet, they're able to decrease the number of supplements they take from 10 or 15 each and every day down to 1 or 2 a day. Next is skin health. If you suffer from eczema, psoriasis, acne, acanthosis nigricans, keratosis pilaris, the list goes on and on and on. All of these skin conditions are intimately related with hyperinsulinemia. Remember, I talked about that earlier in this video. Hyperinsulinemia is caused by only 2 things. 99.9% of the time, it's caused by eating a diet that's too high in carbohydrates. Definitely simple carbohydrates, highly processed carbohydrates are the worst, but even a diet too rich in even complex or good carbohydrates can make you chronically hyperinsulinemic. This gives a false growth signal to your skin cells, and things like skin tags, acanthosis nigricans, psoriasis, eczema, acne, all these things start to get worse. And when you stop that hyperinsulinemic signal, all of a sudden these things start to get better. In some cases, 99% better. Next is gut health. If you have irritable bowel syndrome or disease, if you have ulcerative colitis, if you have Crohn's disease, if you have any kind of gut condition, SIBO, if you have candidal overgrowth, all these things immediately start to improve on a carnivore diet, and in just a few weeks or a few months, they're anywhere from 80 to 100% better. Next is mental health. If you have depression, anxiety, and then more and more research is showing any of the eating disorders, all of these things rapidly improve when you adopt a very low carbohydrate, uninflammatory, ancestrally appropriate, nutrient dense diet, which is a carnivore diet. And then finally, lung health. If you have asthma, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, COPD, any of these lung conditions, they all start to improve immediately. Now, obviously, you have to quit smoking if you're still doing that. If you're still vaping, you got to quit doing that. But after you've quit those 2 dumb things, you're going to need to adopt a carnivore diet at least for a few months to help your lungs have all the nutrition they need, and also to remove all of the inflammatory things in your diet that are keeping your lungs inflamed, keeping your bronchospasm going, and keeping your lungs from healing. Now, if you've used the carnivore diet to improve any of these 10 things or the hundreds of other things that a carnivore diet also helps, I implore you, I beg you, please share your story in the comments of this video. And if you know someone who's suffering from one of these many conditions I just talked about, please consider sharing this video with them. If you'd like more information about a proper human diet, of which the carnivore diet option is one, consider becoming a member of our private community. Thousands of people just like you on a journey with us to rediscover a proper human diet. This is Dr. Berry. I'll see you next time.
Damn, that was good, man. A proper human diet. That's what I want to hear. So, this video was very interesting for many reasons. Now that I am 7 months, almost 7 months into my carnivore diet, I can say that many of these things that he talked about are actually true. Like they helped me out greatly, almost completely removed the issues. We can talk about the specific issues here in a moment. Before we do that, though, I just want to say that, like, I'm not a doctor myself. I'm just a guy testing out the carnivore diet on myself. And what I'm about to say is my opinions and my experience. It's nothing else than that. If there is anything that I have that I want to prove, it will be down in the description below. There'll be links for whatever I talk about here. So most of the things, though, are my experience and my personal experience and my opinions, I guess. So let's get into it. So first of all, Ken Berry is a medical doctor and he has been doing that for a while, for a long time. He's very good at describing the issues and like presenting them to people, and he has a very natural experience with both carnivore diet and keto diet. So he's experimented with this on himself, and then he has applied it to his the people who are in his care, and he has seen great improvements to all the people in his care, almost all the people in his care. I guess there are exceptions, of course, there are always exceptions, but they're very, very few. And as he says himself, like most of the time, this helps out a lot of people, and it just goes to reason that like because it's such a like it's such a diet based on biology and our inherited, or like where we came from, that it makes sense that it would work for most people. There's also sometimes issues can occur when you like eat something else together with meat. It's probably the combination of those that can react badly if you get like a bad reaction to it. And there's a transition period when you move to carnivore, to a carnivore diet from a normal Western diet or vegan diet or whatever you were on. There will be a transition of a carnivore flu, which you can solve by drinking salt water and electrolytes, so you won't get too bad of a down. But yeah, there are some things that needs to happen once you start the carnivore diet, which I experienced. When I watched this video was right when I had begun. I think I was 1 month into carnivore, and I started seeing all these improvements. So it just rang clear to me that this was a honest video that actually made sense for me, because I experienced many of the same things. So let's start with the insulin resistance. I removed sugar completely from my diet, and it changed the game completely for me, because I couldn't manage sugar. I if I had something in the house, I would start eating one, and then I would eat everything that I had in the house, and then I would buy new stuff, and I would, first of all, it cost a lot of money. Like I would use a lot of money that I wasn't aware of because it wasn't in my, and that's a bit of a my mistake thing. Like I didn't add it in my food budget, I guess. So I didn't notice how much I actually used on it, but it was quite a lot. I cut that out completely, and it was a game changer for me. My insulin resistance completely fell down and like got completely, I guess, regenerated or like removed, and I started feeling way better. Also, I didn't have the swings that I used to have, and it just cleared everything up. So yeah, you can remove the carbohydrates, and it will greatly improve your insulin resistance, and also remove insulin spikes, which will give you mood swings. I had a big issue with mood swings. I would be happy 1 hour, and then the next hour I would be super unhappy, or the next 2 hours, and it just kept swinging up and down. And I didn't think about that it was sugar doing it to me, but it was actually sugar. And once I removed that, I got completely stabilized on it, and I felt way better. And I was able to make, I also had better judgment after that. I was able to make better decisions for my life and everything else, and everything kind of cleared up. Removing the plant carbohydrates though did something else to my mind. It like made everything more clear, and it removed brain fog and stuff like that. So there are some other things that plant carbohydrates do. I know sugar is also a plant carbohydrate, but I kind of separate sugar from the other carbohydrates because it has such a different impact compared to, it has a more severe impact compared to plant carbohydrates. So that's why I usually separate them, in my mind at least. And I gotta say, man, like when I removed those two things, it just completely changed the game. Fatty liver, I didn't have that many issues with my liver, not that I know about at least. The only thing I did have was that I lost my gallbladder because I wasn't using it, which is so sad, man. I could have avoided that had I just eaten enough meat back in the day, but I was down to like 20 to 30% meat on a Western diet, and it almost killed me. So yeah, I had a bit of a incident where I went to the hospital and got my gallbladder removed, and it almost exploded inside of my body. So they had to remove it, and the inflation had to go down first. So I was like in the hospital for like 3 days with intense pain. So that was a very bad experience, and more or less afraid of dying while COVID was happening too. So that was a bad thing, man, bad thing. So no one could visit me, and I guess that's when I decided to make changes in my life, which I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't had that experience. So I wouldn't take it back, but it still saddens me that I lost my gallbladder. I wish I had not removed it and actually cured it instead, but this is where we are, and that's just how it is, man. So yeah, I guess I could have had fatty liver, but I didn't really have any symptoms of it. But my body feels better now. Something funny happened with my gallbladder. So they removed the gallbladder and the canals where the gallbladder thing was attached to, where the gall, I guess, goes down and like gets mixed with the stomach contents. The canals actually created like a little pouch on it, so it has like a semi gallbladder on it, so it still works kind of like I can eat a lot of fat without having any issues. And it doesn't seem to impact my liver at all, so it kind of it took a while though. I did have a little bit of trouble early on, but once my body got used to it, it actually improved quite fast, and I started feeling way better, way better. Reversing type 2 diabetes. I've heard a lot of people doing this. I even have some friends who have started reversing their diabetes by just cutting carbohydrates completely. We're not only talking sugar, we're also talking plant fibers and plant starches like potatoes, rice, pasta, I guess, noodles, stuff like that. Cutting that out completely has helped greatly improve their health. And they have started reversing their diabetes. So I can't talk on diabetes myself because I didn't have it. I was probably close to having it though. If I had gotten a test, maybe I could have had a positive on it. But yeah, I was a huge sugar addict, and I also ate a lot of potatoes. So that was a big problem. I also looked like a potato because of that. So that was also another thing. Like I guess you look how you like what you eat, I guess. But that's yeah, I don't know, man. Luckily, I'm now 7 months into carnivore. I'm eating only meat and fat, and I look way more healthy. Starting to look more like I did when I was in my 20s. I still have some issues. If you guys can see here, I have these skin issues that came from eating carbohydrates and sugar, especially sugar. Sugar had a huge impact on my skin. Once I changed to a carnivore diet, my skin started clearing up. I had like stuff here that's gone. I also had some here. I had a lot of skin issues right here that was actually like sometimes it got red and it got really bad. And I had some down here that are gone almost completely, and here. But these are almost completely healed, and I don't have those issues anymore. So I can definitely confirm that like when it comes to skin, it's definitely fixed it. We're supposed to talk about that a little bit later here, but that's fine. Let's go into chronic reflux, heartburn, and something called GERD. I don't know what GERD exactly means or is. I mean, it's something about, getting a pain in your chest after eating, and then you have like stomach acid in your throat. So I didn't really have the chest pains, but I did definitely have the stomach acid going up to into my throat, and it was very uncomfortable. I got it almost every time I ate like a larger meal where there was a lot of carbohydrates in it, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I would get like stomach acid up in my throat, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's really that's really not uncomfortable." And now that I switched to carnivore, this is completely gone. Like there's no issue there. I don't have any issues with that. I would also I used to get really tired after eating, like super tired, and like feel like I didn't feel great, I guess. Sometimes I would take a nap, and then when I woke up, I would feel a little bit better. But after switching to carnivore diet, I don't have that at all. The only thing that happens when I eat meat and fat is that my body starts creating like becoming warm, like it warms up, and then I just get like a little surge of energy, and then I get like I just become happy, I guess. I get really happy when I after eating, and it's such a nice feeling. It doesn't make me want to eat all the time, but it makes me excited for the next meal though. So it is really good, man. It really helps me out a lot. So yeah, you can definitely remove. I guess it's called reflux. That's the. I didn't have heartburn. I don't know about heartburn, but in my experience, in my opinion, I think that would actually make sense that it would remove that almost completely, like 80 to 100%. He says. For me, I removed it 100%. It was so good, man. It's such a good thing. High blood pressure. I had high blood pressure before I changed to carnivore. My blood pressure is now normal, and I got tested like, is it 2 weeks ago, and my blood pressure is completely normal now. It is really good. So um, I'm trying to remember what the numbers were because the doctor actually told me. Yeah, 70 over 120. I can't remember what the exact numbers are, but he told me that they were within normal now, so that was really good. He actually told me that whatever I'm doing, just keep doing it. And my doctor knows that I'm doing the carnivore diet, and he's like he's a little bit critical of it because it doesn't fit with the normal guidance from our state. So yeah, he's just like, okay, it seems to be working for you, so I'm not gonna say anything. You should change anything. But if you feel like eating a plant, you should maybe try it out. And I was like, no, plants are trying to kill you. And he looked at me and then he like laughed a little bit and he was like, okay, well, just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's working out for your body. So that's good. It's really good. Um, Vitamins and minerals. I wanted to get tested for that too. The problem is that the test that I wanted to get were very expensive. But as far as they can tell with like just a normal test, my vitamins, and I'm getting everything that I need. And I'm not considered sick anymore, which is why I can't get tested anymore, which is super annoying. I'm happy that I'm not sick anymore, but it's annoying that you can't test when you're healthy, like, right? Like you should be able to go in and say, hey, I want to do a blood test just to make sure that everything is okay. And then maybe you could do that every 5 years. I think that would be a good idea just to make sure. But I'm getting all the minerals and vitamins from my diet. I get, what is it called again? Minced meat, or like yeah, meat that is grinded. Ground meat. There we go. Ground meat. I make ground meat with liver in it, and that gives me all the vitamins that I need. And then for minerals, I get most of the minerals from just meat. The rest of the minerals I get from what's it called again? Oh God, I mess this up every time. I get all the minerals from drinking electrolytes. The rest of the minerals from electrolytes. And also I do get the salt from electrolytes too, because sometimes there's not enough salt in it, even though I put salt on my meat. For some reason I need a little bit more salt. That's one thing. And yeah, so combining it with some electrolytes, I could eat more organs instead of getting electrolytes, but I'm not a big fan of the taste of organs, which is why I just get electrolytes instead, and it works just fine. Also, the water that we have here in Denmark, it doesn't contain all the minerals that we would usually see because it's been reused so many times that it's not as mineral dense as it should be. So I actually I try to drink mineral water just because it also tastes better, but also has more of the minerals that we need. Unfortunately, the levels of minerals in the water that I buy is also a little bit too low, so that's why we do electrolytes. I think I don't know if this is true, but I think there's some kind of thing going on where companies take water, they take the electrolytes out of the water, they sell the water, and then they sell the electrolytes on their own. So I think there's some kind of a shady thing going on because if you drank water from a natural fountain that would like come from a mountain or something, and it was clean water, like a river or something, you should actually get all the electrolytes that you need. But I think there's some shady shit going on. Maybe we're just too many people, and that's why the water supply is a little bit off. But that's definitely something that should be improved, that could be improved in our society. Like we shouldn't have to buy water and electrolytes. They should just be there. But that's a longer discussion. Um, yes, we already talked about the skin conditions. Sugar has a big impact on your skin, so you really need to be careful with that. Like it almost ruined my skin. It's now regenerating and getting way better. But I do have some things that I need my doctor to remove that can't get removed on their own. It's essentially I have these here on my chin, and then under my nose I have this annoying thing, and then I have this one here right above my brow here. Those are the things that I need to get removed. I'm gonna do this at the end of this year, hopefully, and hopefully it's gonna be looking good again. But it is super annoying that like sugar can have such a huge impact on your skin, and you need to be aware of that. Also, the other carbohydrates also have an impact on it. Starches can be pretty bad on your skin too, so just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. Gut intestine issues. So this was a big one for me actually. This might actually be the biggest one. Um, I had huge improvements on my gut and intestines. I had stomach issues every day. Actually, after every meal, I had to go to the bathroom, and I had to, um, yeah, I had to go to the bathroom and do the big one. I had to do that like, yeah, at least 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and it was like ruining my intestines and my gut. I had horrible gut pains. Every time I ate, it just hurt. And it just didn't feel good, man. And I didn't know and understand what it was, but it was actually fiber that for me that was like ruining my gut. Fiber and other carbohydrates as sugar and plant stuff. As soon as I cut the plants down, like I started slowly, right? So I started cutting it down more and more before I started carnivore, right? So I was like going 70% meat, and then I switched into carnivore. So I actually started before 7 months ago, but I slowly got into it. That was better for me. That worked better for me. Other people might be better off just cutting it like directly and just going into it, but I had to do like a transition period. It works better for me personally. And when I started doing that more and more, I noticed that like I didn't have stomach aches every time I ate. It was only sometimes. I actually started noticing that like whenever I had potatoes, my stomach was super unhappy. So I cut out the potatoes first, and then I transitioned to more meat. When I was at like 70% meat, I had very much less stomach ache. It was a big improvement for me. And then when I cut it completely and went into adding more fat to my meat, it like it just changed the like experience completely. It felt more natural, and I started only going to the bathroom going to the bathroom and doing the big one, right? Every 3 days or so. So sometimes now I only go to the bathroom 2 times a week to do the big one. I also want to notice that like this helped out my pain a lot, made me feel way better. I wasn't like fearful when I was like working that I had to suddenly rush to the bathroom. One thing though, last week I had a little bit of an unfortunate cookie accident. That was like a cookie that looked delicious, and I ate it, and my body just reacted really badly on it. I went to the bathroom 4 times that day to do the big one, and it was freaking horrible. I felt my body was like, "What the hell did you just put into me? Are you insane? Get that shit out of me right now, man!" It was like completely like I got stomach pain. I got like my body was just like reacting to it. My skin was like I was like sweating. I was like, "Oh god damn." So yeah, that's motivation for never doing that again. We're never eating anything sugary like that again. I also think that like it was like a big biscuit, right? With chocolate in it. I don't think chocolate is too big of an issue, but there was a lot of sugar, and the people who made it claimed on it that there was like a small description that they were using real butter. But when I like like researched the production thing, it's not animal butter. We're talking oils. We're talking seed oils. They were using fucking seed oils to make this thing, and my body just reacted really badly to the seed oils too. So this is some bullshit, man. Like they're not using real butter, not at all. I hate that they can say that they use real butter when they don't do it. I think that should be illegal because that's not seed oils are not butter, and they might have used a little bit of like vegetable oils too. I think there was some vegetable oil in it, but it was definitely not butter. Let's just say that. And the amount of sugar that was in it was too much for my body to handle. When you are on carnivore, you become super sensitive to sugar and like plants. Your body will react immediately to it, and you will feel like shit. So there's a lot of motivation to stay on carnivore once you're on it. As I said earlier, I did once I reached the 6 month mark, my plan was to add in things again. My plans have changed a little bit. I am not adding in things. If I wanted to add anything in, it might be a little bit of fruit. You do need to keep in mind with fruits and berries that like those are not the fruits and berries that we had 50 years ago. So these are not natural products anymore. They've been changed by humans, and you need to be aware that they have way more sugar than they used to have. So if I were to add these in, I would probably do it like in very small amounts, and I would do it like in the evening, maybe, or maybe actually maybe I would do it in the morning. I'm not entirely sure, but I would have to experiment with it a little bit, because the way that I eat is that I do intermittent fasting. So I eat a big meal at lunchtime, and then at dinner time I eat a little bit of meat. I used to eat a little bit of cheese, but I cut the cheese out because it made my weight loss stop. So I'm just eating a little bit of meat in the evening with some fat on it, and that's and not after 8 o'clock. After 8 o'clock, I don't eat anything anymore until the next lunchtime, which is about 12 p.m. So yeah, I fast for, what is that? Is that like, is it 16 hours? I think it's 16 hours every day, and my body has a really good time with that. So that's really good for my body. So that works. So if I were to add berries in, I guess I would add a little bit at lunch maybe, and then I would it wouldn't be too much. It's just a little bit, maybe 100 calories or something like that would be fine. But I haven't decided if I want to do it yet because I'm afraid of the reaction to sugar. But yeah, the cookies are definitely not the way. Cookies are not the way, man. It's just not. It was horrible, man. I need to be sure what's in it. I don't want to eat any of the seed oils or vegetable oils or whatever they put in it. Vegetable oils are not too bad. Like coconut oil is actually decent, but yeah, I stay away from anything plant-based. Maybe I could make my own cookies with actually butter in, with actual butter in it. That might be something I could do. Oh, I also have like small brown butter snacks. I think they're called butter brittle. And I put them in like a form, so it's like a little. It almost looks like a little toffee or whatever you want to call it. Like so I can just eat one of those if I get any cravings, and it just works perfectly. It gives me energy, so it's really nice. So that's a bit of a suggestion there if you have issues getting rid of your cravings. All right, so what else do we have? Mental health. Oh man, mental health. Where do I start? I talked earlier about how much it helped me focus. I don't have brain fog anymore. That's probably the biggest one. I don't have anxiety anymore. I can now talk to a group of people without being, without having anxiety. There's so many things that has helped with this. I am more, I guess I'm more aggressive. I was very passive before this. I didn't have the courage to do anything. But now I have all the courage that I need. I have enough courage to make this video, and I have enough courage to start improving my life and myself. So in my experience, the benefits, the mental benefits of the carnivore diet are enormous. They are almost one of the most important things. And these were issues that I didn't know that I had. Also, I don't have any brain. I don't have any plant toxins going into my brain. There's no pesticides in my body, which is the big issue with vegans, which is why they sound so insane. They are so insane. They go into the streets dressed like clowns and demonstrate other people who just are trying to live their life and be healthy, right? It's I've said this a bunch of times. Veganism is not it's not based in biology. It's like a cult or something almost. It's stupid. It's so dumb, and it's not about being healthy. It's just about trying to be, trying to protect something that's not real. Like it's all like some kind of a brain sickness. And the thing is, when you eat plants, the plant toxins travel up through your spine and go into your brain. And if you don't believe me, there will be links down below in the description where you can go to a video that Anthony Chaffee made, where he explains how this works and why he is so adamant about plants that are trying to kill you, right? So go check that out. You can also find it on YouTube if you can't find the link down below, but it's definitely I definitely believe that wholeheartedly. Like and then also, like, pesticides are in the plants. Like, putting water on a plant doesn't take out the pesticides that are inside of it, so it will definitely also have an impact on your mental capacity. This is why vegans are so fucking insane and making all sorts of dumb comments. It is just unnatural, man. The reason that I guess it's unnatural for us because we're not supposed to eat it, because we are the apex predator of this world. We are the species who conquered all the other species. We are meant to eat meat, and that's why we are the best species on the planet. All the other animals are under us, subservient to us. We have animal friends, yes, that's true, but we also have animals that are our food source. We try to give them the best life that we can, and then after their life, they will feed us, and that's just how it is. I also want to point out that, like, if people talk about the environment or like how many animals get killed every year to feed us, you can just look at how much damage pesticides do to the environment and how many animals get killed by pesticides. So I cannot stretch this out enough, man. If you are a vegan, you are not saving animal lives. You are not saving the environment. You are actually damaging the environment because you're laying the land barren with the way that industrial farming is run at the moment. So stop lying to yourself, man. You've been lied to. Get the fuck out of it. Get the pesticides out of your body. Get them out of your brain. Get the plant toxins out of your brain and start healing yourself. So yeah, that's why I like the Healing Humanity channel too, which I could link down in the description too. But if you want to know more, just check that out for sure. So sorry, I went on a little rant there, but it's just, I need to mention all this because it is absurd how insane vegans are and how wrong they are too. And the worst thing is, it's like a cult, so they don't know that they're wrong. They just infected with plant toxins. Absolutely insane. There was another point here. Lung health will improve greatly after a few months. So Dr. KenDBerry talks about lung health. So you need to stop all the smoking and all that, of course. Smoking can also cause heart diseases and a lot of other things. We know this now because the research on smoking is quite extensive after they got called out, the companies making cigarettes and all that. The whole industry got sued and like everything came out. Smoking is very bad for your health. If it's something that you do, it's a choice that you make, and that's your choice, and that's fair enough. I won't force you to stop. But if you want to improve your lung health, you should definitely consider cutting your cigarettes and just trying out the carnivore diet. The proteins and the fat will start healing your body. Whenever you are in ketosis, you have access to your fat storage, and your body will start improving your health. Like, it will start healing yourself more and regenerating your vital functions. this also includes your lungs. So this is just the fact, man. It will definitely help you. So if you're dealing with something like that, definitely try out either keto or carnivore diet. So those are my opinions. Those are my experience. I hope this helps you out, guys, and I hope that you will check the link down below and go to Dr. Ken Berry's channel and give him a like on his amazing video. Like, being able to explain all of this in 7 minutes. This man must have done like 17 takes or something. It is so good, man. It is so impressive. And I look up to the man. He's leading the way for everyone else to improve, and he's actually trying to help people. He's not just trying to help people, he's trying to cure people, which is a big thing that we are not doing in our society today. We just put people on pills and then they live on them on the rest of their life, even though it probably shortens their lifespan. And you know, the medical industry right now is fucking terrible. Even in Denmark, where we have state-run medical care, it is still freaking terrible, man. It is still controlled by, I think it might be controlled by external sources, or external science at least. Might not be on purpose, but it's definitely has been misled, and we have a lot of issues in our society today because of it. I think the average lifespan of a human should be 120 years, but for some reason people are dying in the 70s, and they just should not be. And I think it's because of carbohydrates, like an overconsumption of carbohydrates. That's my opinion. And I think more research is needed. And we need to get the corruption out of our medical fields. We need people like Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chaffee, and Homestead Howe to actually lead us into a better future. So yeah, shout out, I guess. That's it, guys. I'm gonna go prepare for my next meal, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye bye.